space. We've got John Howell now coming in what is also a very iconic, but severe really important in terms of the Eastern Bloc development of jet training, and making, I would say, a very modest entry there. The difference being that whilst you're involved in this sort of work, all this being a jet 2, when you see like the Vampire, which Jet 1 aircraft, you notice how, because they don't have the design and also they don't have the G mitigation equipment on board, they tend to take up a lot more space and try to do their maneuvers. This actually is quite a performer as an aircraft. You can do a lot with it. It's featured a huge amount of movers and things like that, particularly bomb movers. If you can't get a hand on the jet, then you generally can get a hand on an aircraft. Designed and produced by Robert George in the Czech Republic, and basically exists to continue basic and advanced pilot training. It also is able to fly light combat missions as well. And despite its origin in the Warsaw Pact, it never actually received the NATO reporting name. But a lot of the pilots who are with us today, particularly on our management team, will be familiar with this aircraft. Because, of course, this was where the pilots of the Eastern Bloc would start pitching their skills against our own NATO pilots. Designed during the 60s, it was successful to be John Howell, who after the time went off to work the area of Warden, and now joins the L-39 maintenance facility team across just across the water there over Blackpool. We've been to Blackpool for a few years now, and real pleasure to see it back on the circuit. Its primary users were the Soviet Air Force back in the day, the Ukrainians, the Czechoslovak Air Force, the Libyan and the Syrian Air Force. Well over 2,900 of these aircraft were built. Manufactured from around 1971, it first flew back in the 60s. It was designed during that period. And its first flights were in November 1968. Long turnaround there, but anyway, I thought for a moment that you might have had an issue there. But a big cost is production of these aircraft began in about 1971. So it's quite into becoming into the home training period as far as this country is concerned. This is the amount when we were transiting between the following NAT and the new T1 as it was at the time. And of course that 40-year-old plus aircraft now, the Red Arrows class. But thousands of these produced mainly not just for Eastern Europe but also for the export market as well. Had some really interesting experiences with this aircraft. Remnants from the former Democratic Republic of the Afghanistani Air Force were involved in activity there for during the latter stages of the 1996 to 2001 phase of the Afghan Civil War. Many sent also to Azerbaijan, also involved in Chechnya. It's got a massive history, this particular aircraft. Most of those were reportedly abandoned or not in a flyable condition, but during the August-November 1994 conflict, L-39 will be deployed there as well. And Iraq was the first export customer for this aircraft. Country will require many, in their case 180 of the L-39 Zeros around 1978. Generally a crew of two therefore, particularly as the training aircraft of course. £2,700 thrust, and that's very similar thrust range that the jet pro you're going to see later on, the Mark 5 jet products, is in that category, alongside the Vampire you'll see the Generation 1 hopefully later on today, a little bit less power than that. Nonetheless, this one able to fly around 470 miles an hour, but with a top speed of 610 and with range just over 1,000 miles, so pretty good. I think just John is calling out there for his last pass. So we'll hopefully just take a look down. He's getting away from us at the moment, but this is John Hull in the L-39.